It's dark here.
Well, it's only about 98 here. It
98.
says, yeah, and it says on my watch 98 and unhealthy. I didn't know that was a weather type.
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy, I guess it is. Yeah.
Like living on the sun.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty toasty. What is it? It's almost 7 o'clock here, so it's late for you. It's past your bedtime there, dude.
Well, we do what we got to do, Brenny, to make it all happen. We do it for the folks.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
It is happening. Well, listen, that's good. All right.
Okay, so.
Okay, just so everyone knows. Just so everyone knows, is that a two olive martini in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kettle 1 over ice, 2 olives.
Okay. So well, and you don't know that we've already started the recording. So just so that everyone else knows that, hey, look, it's almost 10 o'clock there in the Eastern time zone. So I think Jeff is well deserving of a cocktail after apparently you got to get out in the grass courts today.
Yeah, they're
Shocker.
Unbelievable.
Pretty good, huh?
It was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yes, the courts here in Pontiac are fabulous.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's just great.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so it was really nice to to have that, and then during the course of the day as well, watching Fed. Yeah. Do the job and take care of Wawrinka. I mean, I think it was really just beautiful to watch him at the apex of each set. Like he just he came up with the goods at the right time, and it wasn't like a spectacular winner. It was just good, solid, like journeyman ball.
How many break points did he not convert?
Was it 17?
A big number.
Yeah, it was like 17 or 18. I know. Going into the fourth, I think he had, or the end of the third, it was like 15 or 16.
Right. Yeah. So, well, I mean, that just kind of brings up. It's amazing to me. Like he's got one of the worst break point conversion rates of
anybody.
Well, I was going to say with the top guys, but maybe not as bad as mine. Of course, mine's probably better.
Yeah. Meaning in his genre.
I see. Yeah. But I mean, it's amazing to watch him not convert over and over again, and not get at least not show that he's frustrated.
Right.
Which must be. I don't know. Maybe I don't know who knows what that level's like, but the other guy, Stan, must be going. I can't keep letting him do this.
Right.
Because
at some point, 15, 16, 17, at some point, one of them's going to convert.
Yeah. And I guess Stan wasn't. Well, Stan did break in the third set.
Right.
Or no, I guess it was the second set where he broke
second
one.
Set, he got
won the set. Well, so what's your prediction for Rafa Fed? Fed have a chance?
Rafa is obviously crescendoing. I mean, he just handed Nishikori his hat.
1, and 3 is a spanking.
I mean, that's going to take some icing to pull those welts down, to make that.
So he's going to go in the cryotherapy chamber, not to recover.
Yeah. No, just
well, I guess a different kind of recovery.
Could be crying therapy, but
I see.
But I think obviously he's crescendoing like we all want to do when we play an event. We want to like crescendo through the week, build each time and feel like we're getting stronger, feel better, more confident.
Well, look, Fed's got to feel like, look, I got really nothing to lose. I mean, I think he's got to.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he doesn't care. Obviously, he cares. Obviously, he's going to prepare and he's going to have a game plan. But one of the things that the guys are talking about is the new racket and his ability now to come over the backhand. Rafa's not seen that on clay. He's obviously seen it in the last 5 times they've played in hard courts.
Right.
but he's not seated on the clay. Whether or not that'll make a difference, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I think, can he? I mean, obviously, Fed doesn't hit the ball as consistently, say, as hard as Soderling did. When Soderling beat Rafa in the semis there.
That's right.
I mean, Soderling crushed the ball. He just hit the ball through the back end of the court.
Yeah.
There was no subtlety to it. There was no, feather this, do that. No, I'm just going to hit the ball through the back end of the court and see if he can keep up.
A la James Blake. I mean, Blake, I don't know if Blake actually had a winning record against Rafa, but I know that's the way that he could beat him. He was one of the few guys that could just kind of knock him off the court.
Right.
So it'll be
now
fun.
Fed doesn't kind of, like ball after ball after ball. That's not his style.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do that. But I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting.
Well, look, Rafa's going to be standing way back by the tarp. To return serve, and we've seen that the whole time this tournament with Fed, is that he's going to go, fine, I'm going to kick it up there, whether it's first, second serve, I'm coming in. And
I mean, I think the stats at the end of the match today were 41 trips to the net, I think, for Fed, and 17 for Wawrinka, and that was really, I think, one of the biggest probably separators, probably what tipped the match in his favor. Obviously, at the end of the match, match point, he came into the net and closed it off.
Yeah,
that was match point.
Yeah.
So I think, but he's doing it in a different fashion now. He's actually, ball striking, boom, we're hitting groundies, and then he's feathering the ball, hitting these, he's knifing the slice just beautifully. And I think,
Well, I think first of all I think he's got to return serve well, because I think if there's too much pressure on him to hold serve, it's going to be a rough day. But I think if he can get if he can break and maybe convert some of these break points, if he can get there, then that might free him up a little bit in the serve, and he can take some more chances with, some serve and volley stuff.
Yeah, because Rafa obviously has upgraded the serve. He's taking more chances. He's hitting it bigger, without a doubt. But,
anything you see in those guys that we can take away, anything that we can apply to senior tennis? I guess the thing I saw about Fed, about not showing frustration when he's constantly getting break points and not converting. I mean, that is something, I think, when you're playing against a good guy and you're just not showing emotion, it's got to be a little unsettling for the other guy.
Yeah, you got to be able to we talked about it the other day with Kenin beating Serena, and she just, if you watched her other match, she probably didn't play quite as well as she played against Serena, but you could see she just marches from one end of point, marches, gets the balls, blah, blah, blah. She showed a little frustration, I think, against who did she play? Can't think of it off the top of my head. But I think that's it's a huge, I don't know what word am I looking for here. I think it's a big deal when you can simply control your emotions in that fashion and simply, here it is, I'm moving on.
Yeah, I think it works both ways. I mean, I think that your emotional highs and lows it stays pretty even keel, and you stop kind of going, well, I got to win this point. It's a break point. My gosh, I've had 5 of these. I have to win this one. And then when you don't, you just kind of go like, crazy. And the other guy who's saving break points is getting a double boost, right? Your opponent's getting frustrated for not converting, and you're going, well, this is kind of cool watching this guy over there go kind of nutty. So, the other thing I think that we're seeing with Fed too is we're seeing, you mentioned the backhand, the knife, but I'm seeing drop shots. I'm seeing drop volleys. I'm going, and we've got a couple of guys who shall remain nameless, who all they want to do is they want to do the Robin Soderling thing. They just want to, blow it by you one corner or the other. And at this age group, maybe that's why Fed's doing it. He's in a new age group. He's almost in the 40s. That's
good.
Well, I'm almost in the 40s, so I got to learn to play the dropper more often. So,
I think he's just the reality is I think he's got a great team around him who is actually looking at the landscape of the game right now. And I mean, this is his 45th, 46th semi in a Grand Slam in his career.
44 I think was the number I heard today. But whatever it is,
the stinking charts.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's just unbelievable to me. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Should be unbelievable to anybody. So,
well, look, I mean, I think we all agree that the guy has more grips. He can put his hand on so many different places on the racket to make the next shot he's going to play super efficient. And you know, we never, and of course, I never hear anyone really out there talking about how your hand placement grips can make stroke technique so much more efficient. And, you know, so, and I can see why a lot of guys, whether you're a junior, whether you're a senior player, or whether you're on the tour, if you're kind of locked into that semi at a full Western, if you're kind of locked into that two-hander, you're not only limited to what you can do, but you become more and more predictable.
Right. And I think that's, you know, I think that's, you know, what's the separation of the guys who hold on to being number one in the world for X amount of time, the guys that, you know, and the guys who, you know, breach number 10 and hang between 10 and 5, because there's a difference between 5 and 1. You know what I mean? There's another group of guys there, right? And so, like watching Fed play Wawrinka, you know, Wawrinka doesn't have that versatility. If he's playing like pure, I mean, the slams he's won, and this is, you know, no disrespect, the guy's obviously a Grand Slam champion. How many has he won?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Sorry, street cred, right? The guy's got it, right?
Yeah, totally.
But he also played in those matches just absolutely his style of play. There was not a lot of feathering, not a lot of touch, not a lot of, you know, versatility, if you will, because he didn't have to. His game was just at that moment where the pinnacle of where it needed to be. Where you look at a Fed, and I thought today was really awesome to watch him back up 12 feet behind the baseline to return serve, and then he's 2 feet inside the baseline to return serve. And then he's on the first serve 2 feet behind the baseline to return serve. And then he's backing up 10 feet behind to return the second serve so he can whack a forehand. I thought that variation, I mean, he caught Stan. I thought the other side of this is that on his own serve, serving and volleying, and then the fake serve and volley. He served 2 steps in and then pulled back, and Stan wings it long, wings it wide. Because he's thinking he has to do something.
Right.
I think there's just not enough, let's say, there's just not enough focus on that aspect of understanding why it's so important to have that versatility and to show different looks.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, I think today that was the difference. So
well,
anyway.
The last couple episodes, you know, we've talked about being able to do a deeper dive about what does this guy not want, right? And we talked about, well, there's the big picture of maybe what he doesn't want, but we have to condition it upon where you allow him to touch the ball. You can't just say, well, he doesn't want me to serve the ace out wide. Well, duh, no one does.
Right.
That's not really a strategy.
Oh, really?
Or, you know, like I was trying to do, you know, against this guy the other day, is trying to really knife that return past him. Well, of course he doesn't want me to do that, but I can do it 1 out of 10 times. So the condition has to be, what can I do that he doesn't want where he can touch the ball? And what you just described is Fed doing the fake serve and volley, where I'm going to throw it in there and I'm going to make it look like he's going to touch the ball. That's not my big deal, but I want to create some doubt. And I thought that was a brilliant play.
And I thought it was great that early on, second serves, he dumps the drop shot off the return. As much as Courier in the booth, and again, I can't speak to that because he's obviously a Grand Slam champion. I'm not, but I thought I'm just looking at it from like Fed's point of view.
Yeah.
He was just completely showing all this different stuff, like what to expect, and it didn't. I don't know. I don't think Fed really cared whether. I mean, yes, did he care? Yes, but it wasn't like a deal breaker for him if he didn't hit it perfect.
Right.
If Wawrinka got there, because he knows he just played 4.5 hours the day before, 2 days ago,
right,
against Tsitsipas, and it's like I'm going to make him use up some fuel.
Absolutely. I mean, to me,
whether I win the point or not.
Well, again, you're giving the guy something that he doesn't want.
Yeah.
He might get to the ball, and I think Fed's going, I don't have to hit a winner. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to have to keep running up for drop shots. Right? So, smart stuff. Well, listen, one of the things, so today I drove down from the Bay Area down here to the desert, and as you know.
How's the San Joaquin doing today, anyway, on I-5?
Pretty toasty. But, I saved you the phone call like midway through the drive. It's a 7-hour drive. I saved you the phone call where, I call up Jeff and
we talk for 3
make
hours.
Make him think like I've really got something important I want to talk about. But all I'm really trying to do is just kill an hour or something in there. And
just watching the thing go tick, 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 tick.
So I think you got to give me a little credit for that, for sparing it. I did listen to a fantastic podcast today, a Rich Roll podcast. These guys he's got on there, they're so smart. I mean, I just figure, look, if I listen to the smart people out there in these podcasts,
right.
Probably not, but maybe something will kind of get in there, and I'll,
sneak in.
And anyway, but I was listening to just a couple minutes of one of our podcasts just recently, and you said something that I want to talk about. That was actually.
We're actually going to get on the subject.
I was hoping to get on this topic. We could cut this one off and just do another one. And I'll talk about the free coaching call after this.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. But you said something that's really, I think, for us at our level, I think we kind of know this, but I think there are a lot of players out there, and I'm talking about more of the 3.5 or the 4.0 guys, who see, maybe they're even talking about, like what we're talking about here with Fed with a little drop shot return to serve. And they go, oh, well, I'd like to have that shot, but that's a totally different shot. I don't have that in my toolbox. And what you said the other day was, look, if you're looking to hit a ball over there to that part of the court, you don't have to go to your guy or your gal, your teaching pro, and go, hey, I need to get a completely brand new stroke technique to be able to
shopping.
to be able to hit the dropper over there, as opposed to maybe think about it, the way you hit it is through a different stroke that you already have. Or just take what you've got.
Yeah.
Now again, if you're full blown Western forehand and we're asking you to hit a dropper off of that could be a little rough. But it may not be a totally different stroke. It might just be a little grip adjustment. But sometimes you don't need to go shopping for a brand new stroke. No. You've already got it. What's to say that you can't get some guy to serve a bunch of second serves to you? Take what you've got right now and just try it.
Tinker.
And maybe think of it like you were saying. I think we were talking about the slice, and that's right. You guys were doing a drill the other night, and one of the students didn't really have the feel for the baseline slice, and you said, well, what would it feel like if you just played a backhand volley?
Right, off the bounce. Right,
right. So
magic.
So
right. I think it's a lost part of the game because the game has become so, and it doesn't mean bad, but the game has become so technical. The information, the kinetic chain, the diagrams, the this part of the ball does this, and then there's this, and there's, I mean, it's mind numbing.
The double helix.
Don't forget helix. That. Yes. And I just think that, if you look at, across the board athletics, and you look at the guys who have achieved the highest pinnacle in their sport, regardless of their sport, every one of them seems to have their own kind of unique, there's something in there that's a little different than everybody else. They figured out how to produce X, Y, or Z, right? So I think that part of it is a little bit lost, that, am I willing as a teaching professional to help the student explore the possibilities with what they have?
Right. Yeah.
Not with imposing, oh, it needs to look like this. I 100% disagree because of I could pull out student after student after student. And I said, no. What if we use this part of your game? What if we use this aspect of that stroke?
Right.
And you just thought about it this way, and all of a sudden they start to produce it. And the biggest revelation there is that the student starts to relax and actually feels like they can accomplish the goal. Can you make the ball land there with this spin? All of a sudden they're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to get in there and then totally disassemble and sandblast and rebuild and
God, the sandblast. That's kind of rough. Yeah.
Yeah, the sandblasting. Once you get into the whole sandblasting thing, then it gets really ugly. But I think that's exactly it. So watching Fed today, I think, was just a great example of his versatility.
Yeah.
And showing it while the match is going on, not just like, oh, I can do this now, and now he's in that mode. He was changing his receiving mode all the time. He was, Well,
look,
we've
got a student who we worked with a couple days ago, and we just told him, you're playing too linear with your forehand and backhand. It's just,
right.
And they're beautiful looking strokes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But we've got to change the trajectory in this one situation from being linear to a little bit more of a rainbow, and there was kind of like, you could sense his kind of going, oh God, I got to learn another stroke. And we're going, no, you've already got the stroke. You just need to tinker with it for 10 minutes and see what it feels like. And I said, maybe it's a little more relaxed in the hand than what you're doing now. But that's it. And so it kind of, I think he sort of felt relieved. Oh, good. I don't have to go learn a brand new stroke to be able to produce that shot that will now totally change his game.
Right. Because we actually, and it was great because we were, we're watching a video of him doing it.
Right.
And even though it was kind of unintentional, he saw that he actually produced the shot we wanted.
Right.
It's like, there it is. Just do that.
Yeah.
And just so I think that sounds silly to say just do that, but I think there's also a disconnect, for individuals to understand that, the brain is like this unbelievably powerful piece of equipment, and it knows how to translate the body mechanics. It knows how to do that. So if you just get out there and think, I want to make the ball shape look like this, and if you can exit yourself from the mechanics of how to do it, and let your body and your brain kind of just like figure it out, let me tell you, you're going to save yourself a world of heartache.
Well, and I think a lot of players don't consider the reason why you want to do this, the reason you want to play the dropper, the reason you maybe want to take a forehand from time to time and kind of loop it up high. And a lot of people go, well, what's the benefit to that? And you kind of go, well, and you explain it. You say, well, just like Fed was doing with Wawrinka today, expending more fuel. Even if you lose a couple of those points, it's okay, but you're expending a lot of the guy's fuel. And this kind of high forehand looper once in a while, now all of a sudden the ball's up here. He doesn't want it up there.
Right.
And so once they understand the benefit, then it's like, oh, I can do that. Okay.
Right.
Then we don't need to go wholesale and go, to to the fancy store to get a new stroke.
Yeah. We don't need to go. Like I said, we don't need to go out to go car shopping.
Right. All right, Jeffrey. It's late there, I know, and I really appreciate you because we had to get it. We had to get it done today. As soon as we're done here, I gotta pump it out there to make sure it's today's date, even though it's
got to have today's date on it. Yes, because we're committed.
Let's see, what is it? 10:20 back there. So I've got about an hour and change to get the thing up there before it hits midnight. All right.
And of course, I'm honoring Fed tonight.
Yes, you are. That's great. Yeah. And I'm of course honoring my wife.
I can see that. I saw that Mice Pies.
My wife's business. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Jeff and I are still offering a free private coaching call. It's only 10 minutes, but let's get on the phone, just the three of us. We're not going to record it. We're not going to dispense it out there to the interwebs and any of that stuff. It's just
inner,
us.
outer, whatever.
The outer webs, yeah. And you got to bring that one thing, though, in your game right now that maybe is just kind of problematic. That if you could kind of get it solved, maybe you can start getting that result that you want in your singles and or doubles. So way to get on that call. Go over to goalballhunting.com. Put in your first name, email address, click the button, and you'll get access to the online calendar scheduler where you get to cherry pick the date and time that works best for you. Not us, works best for you. Jeff, what would we like to find folks to do right now at this moment?
Like us.
Okay.
Share us.
Good.
Please subscribe.
Yep.
Let us know what you think down below.
Okay. Guys, get out there. Get out there tonight, apparently. Help someone else have a great evening. And Jeff, we're going to do this again tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it, Brent.
Okay, get some sleep.